Resistance for the first conductor, resistance for the second conductor. Resistance of second conductor is greater than resistance of first conductor. So by increasing the length, the resistance also increases. Why? Why it is increasing? Because if we connect these two conductors across a potential difference, positive, negative. Suppose a single cell is connected with the 1.5 potential difference, 1.5 volt potential difference. This conductor is also connected with the same cell. Means here also the potential difference is same. Both the conductors, both the wires are connected across the same potential difference. Across single cell 1.5 volt. Here also across single cell 1.5 volt. So the potential difference applied across both the conductor is same. Due to this, the current flow through the conductor. In this also the current start to flow. That means the electrons start to flow from negative terminal to positive terminal. While they are flowing, as I said earlier, the electrons collide with the positive ions. So that in that collision, they lost energy, and we can say that the opposition appears. That opposition is known as the resistance. Here if we see the electrons, the electrons are moving from negative to positive terminal. In that the electrons in this conductor has to travel this much of distance. That is L1 distance has to be traveled by the electrons in the first conductor. Here the electrons has to travel L2 distance from negative to positive terminal. As the length of path traveled by every electron increases, they will collide with the more number of positive ions. If the number of collisions increases, then the opposition also increased, then resistance also increases. If we see from the physical dimension that in the second conductor the length of path is longer, so here the number of collisions made by electrons with the positive ions also increases. So here the opposition is greater, resistance is also greater. This is how the resistance is depending on length of conductor. Now coming to the third factor, that is area of cross section. That is area of cross section. For the area of cross section means thickness of conductor. Area of cross section, right? For the area of cross section, it is inversely proportional. Means if the diameter of wire increases, then the resistance decreases. We will discuss how it is related. Suppose this is a conductor for some length L, area of cross section A1. Let it be copper wire. Then the same copper wire with increased diameter for the same length. Here you can see from the figure, the length of both the conductors same, but the area of cross section is increased. Again, the two conductors are connected across same potential difference, positive, negative, across same potential difference, right? So here also the electrons move from negative to positive terminal, but the number of electrons leaving the negative terminal in the first conductor and in the second conductor, that will be different. Since the area of cross section is greater, here the number of electrons from this negative terminal will be somewhat greater than the number of electrons leaving from the negative terminal of first conductor. So because of more number of electrons traveling the same length of path in both the conductor. In both the conductor, the length of path, the distance traveled by all the electrons is same in both the conductors, but the number of electrons is greater in the second conductor. The number of electrons reaching the other terminal causes more current flows through the conductor because it is related. Q is equal to Ne. So if number of electrons flowing through the conductor is greater, then the amount of charge is more. that charge is related to the current also. If a charge increases, the current also increases. If more current flows through the conductor, whenever large amount of current is flowing through the conductor, then obviously the current is inversely proportional to resistance. Means if resistance is greater, less current flows. If resistance smaller, then more current flows. Here large amount of current is flowing, that means the resistance will be less. That's why if we increase the surface area, that is area of cross section, then the resistance is decreasing. So this one is the third factor. Now coming to the fourth factor on which the resistance of conductor depends. Here fourth factor is temperature of conductor. Temperature of conductor. How does the resistance of conductor depends on its temperature? It is directly proportional. Means if the temperature of conductor increases, resistance also increased. Resistance also increased. Suppose we take the conductor, a conductor is taken and it is connected across a cell with potential difference V, right? Due to this, the electrons flow from negative terminal to positive terminal. During the flow of electrons, they collide with the positive ion. During the collision with the positive ions, the heat is produced. Whenever two particles are colliding with each other, definitely heat produced. In this also, the heat is produced. So due to the production of heat in the collision of electrons with the positive ions, the heat increases, the temperature of conductor increases, right? When the temperature of conductor increases, what happens? The number of collisions also increase. That means they collide. I said that once the electron collide with the positive ion, it come to rest, then gain energy, further moves and collide with the next positive ions. But in this case, during the collision, some amount of heat energy is produced. That heat energy produced also helps the electron to gain its energy. That amount of that heat energy produced also helps the electron to gain the energy. Now the electron is gaining the energy quickly. It gains the energy quickly and it collides with the positive ions quickly. So before reaching the positive terminal, it collides with the positive ions in more number of times. So the number of collisions with the positive ions increases. As the number of collision increased, the opposition also increases, resistance also increased. So the resistance and the temperature, they are directly proportional to each other. These are the four factors on which the resistance of conductor depends. That's why, because the temperature and the resistance are directly proportional to each other, we plotted the graph between V and I. Here we are plotting the graph. The graph comes straight line for the Ohm's law. But when we pass the electric current through the conductor continuously, definitely the heat is produced. Some amount of heat is produced. As the heat is produced, the temperature of conductor increases, resistance also increases. That's why the graph we plot, it is the straight line, but it is not a straight line forever. It will not be straight line forever. After a limit, after some time, this graph will bend. Suppose up to this point, this is a straight line. Because in the beginning itself, there will be no change of resistance. After some time, as the temperature increases considerably, then only the resistance of conductor changes. If it changes, then what happens? That beyond that, the potential difference increases, even the potential difference increases, the current will not increase proportionally. Then what happens? It will be deviated. According to this law, the graph must be straight line. It must be straight line. But because of change in resistance, it bend. It goes in this way. Now we say potential difference increases, current is not increasing that much. So the graph bend from its position, from its path. So here we can say one thing, up to this point the conductor is obeying the Ohm's law. After that, the Ohm's law is not obeyed by the conductor. So before this, this conductor may be called as ohmic conductor. That is ohmic conductor because it is obeying Ohm's law. After that, Ohm's law is not valid, so it becomes non-ohmic. So we have two types of conductor. That is ohmic conductor, non-ohmic conductor. Ohmic conductor, if a conductor is obeying Ohm's law. Non-ohmic, it is not obeying Ohm's law. There are some conductors which are not obeying Ohm's law from the beginning itself. That we will discuss in the higher classes. Here it is not required. So we can say that Ohm's law is not the universal law because it is always not a straight line. V is not directly proportional to I always.